If you walk into a manufacturing plant today, you'll likely find a graveyard of expensive efficiency tools. Over 80% of corporate change initiatives, like lean or smart factory rollouts, plummet into failure almost the exact moment the consultants leave the building. The root of this collapse usually starts at the top. Executives often operate under the illusion of command, believing they can mandate long-term adoption simply by threatening to cut bonuses or issue reprimands. This strategy predictably breeds malicious compliance. Workers will go through the motions while the boss watches, but quietly ensure that the project fails to prove that the old ways were better. When the foundation of a corporate shift is fear, the change typically only lasts as long as the oversight does. Consider the floor of Siam Woodcraft, a busy factory currently attempting to roll out a standard 5S workplace efficiency program. Among the staff is Uncle Chai, a master craftsman with the company for 25 years. He's highly skilled, and he makes a point of dismissing the new theories brought in by the young engineers as mere classroom talk. His workbench is the messiest station in the entire building, standing as a physical rejection of the new organizational mandates. The situation is reaching a breaking point. A frustrated young manager stands nearby, holding a written warning, prepared to fire Uncle Chai for insubordination. But terminating a master craftsman for resisting a new process creates a ripple effect. It removes top talent and quickly signals to the rest of the workforce that their experience is no longer valued. Let's look closer. A business diagnostician, a shindanshi, sees Uncle Chai's resistance as a symptom to be understood rather than a crime to be punished. During a transition, workforces split: 20% champions, 60% fence-sitters, and 20% resistors. Resistors face three specific anxieties. First, job loss from automation. Second, losing their unique status as an expert. Finally, the quiet fear of failing to master new digital tools. Uncle Chai isn't acting out of malice. His stubbornness is a defense mechanism intended to protect his livelihood and his professional identity. Back on the factory floor, the diagnostician approaches Uncle Chai's desk. Instead of leading with a warning, they lead with questions about his craft. This initiates the first strategy: establishing psychological safety. To move forward, the company must commit that no one will be fired as a result of an efficiency improvement. Next, the diagnostician addresses the personal benefit. They don't talk about corporate profit. They point out how much time Chai loses every day digging through sawdust to find his own chisels. The new system is reframed as a way for him to save his energy, finish his work with less frustration, and get home to his family on time. The final move is co-creation. The diagnostician asks the master craftsman to design the optimal tool rack himself, so his expertise can serve as a standard for the younger staff. By shifting the dynamic from following orders to providing expert consultation, the diagnostician lowers the social friction that usually triggers resistance. As Uncle Chai builds the custom rack he designed, the station begins to change. The organization isn't coming from a manual anymore, it's coming from his own pride as a craftsman. Chai's shift in attitude carries weight with the 60% of workers watching from the sidelines. When the most vocal critic starts holding his own team to these new standards, the fence-sitters often follow suit. This micro-shift reflects a macro reality. Jack Welch famously noted that if the rate of change on the outside exceeds the rate of change on the inside, the end of the organization is near. Scaling this culture requires specific leadership habits. First, you have to reward small, everyday improvements, rather than just waiting for million-dollar cost savings. Second, leaders must practice listening over talking, creating the psychological space necessary for employees to test their own ideas. Third, you must provide a written guarantee of job security. People will rarely innovate if they believe the result will be their own obsolescence. Successful transformation isn't won through a better tech stack. It's found by converting a single pair of hands into a brain that is actively looking for ways to improve the work.